should turn this down. Oops, colors. Nice. Nice soft light. Oops, that's the on and off button. That changes color, that makes it bright. Oh, it's really bright. Where's the plug? Oh, it's because I need to do that. Where the fuck is this shipping safe here? What are you doing? What route? Oh, it's being safe to tell me. Oh, you're smart. So 10 is done. We're gonna do 11. Export. Excellent quality. Good. All right. And we press play. Ciao. What's going on? In the spatial, and I saw the video. I found it. He's plugging in his headphones. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
There we are. Look, I'm still here. I'm here. I'm a speaker and a listener. It's amazing.
Stop engagement farming, Casey.
It's good.
Just me and my army of alt accounts sitting in a space. Yeah, dude, that spatial's coming along well.
Love it. I like this gay Shazam you have.
Oh, yeah, you like that?
Shazam, it says, with a list.
Shazam. Shazam. Yeah, no, dude, Ellie's spatial is really shaping up well. And it's
Mm,
on her account now too.
so sick.
So do you
It's
think you'll need any help lazy minting on OpenSea?
probably,
Okay.
at least they do a template.
Yep, yep. And then hi. Hey, how are we? What's up, buddy? No, it's all good, man. Just talking, getting close to finished with LA Spatial.
Oh, awesome. I took the tour and I did like a little audio experience of when I took the tour. I think I got to the third arrow and then I got lost in the green.
I erased everything and redid it just today, and it's a lot easier to follow now.
Wow. So there's more than three arrows?
Yes, a lot
Was
more
there
than three arrows.
was there originally more than three arrows?
I don't know. There was multiple stages of arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all set now. Now it's super easy to follow.
I'll give it another crack and I'll give it another audio. I'll see. I think it's only
Okay,
2 minutes because I sort of
sure.
walk in there and experience it and then I think because the challenge for me being on a mobile phone, I couldn't
Yeah,
see the change in elevation on the green platform,
sure.
and I couldn't see where to go from next from the third or fourth arrow. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I've got the drop in point set better now, and it's a lot
yep.
easier. I think you'll find it much easier. I was having some issues getting it to load on my phone though. I'll be interested to know if you can actually get in there on your phone.
Oh, okay. You Android or
Apple
iPhone? Oh, Apple.
iPhone.
Yep.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I didn't have
Cool.
much drama with it loading up on the. It put me right on the edge to where I was almost
Hmm.
falling off the edge. It was sort of sitting
Yep.
there trying to figure out where it was, and then but
Yeah.
I just clicked on the surface, the green surface, and then away I went. It was not
It
much
should
drama at
be.
all.
Yeah. No. It should be all set now.
Yeah. Oh, there was one thing. The Nemo, no, the fish, the dory fish.
Yep.
I think it was the dory fish. Its color was almost exactly the same as the sky. So when you looked up, it almost looked like you
Oh,
had that sort of green screen experience. But I remember
there's
you
no more
saying you
sky.
okay, right?
There's yeah. I got that fixed too, bro. It's
You're all
all
over it.
set, dude. It finally clicked for me and it just started rampaging. So yeah, it's good. I'm pretty happy.
All right. Well, I just witnessed uh, my first voice acting gig come to fruition with Quasi
Hey,
Finance.
hey, right
So
on.
yeah, it's like it's probably the most boring script you'll ever see, like YouTube channel theme. But it's pretty cool to see something to come together like that and go up on YouTube. It doesn't get released until January. I'm not allowed to show anyone apparently, but he didn't say I couldn't talk about it. But yeah, so he showed me a copy of
Dude,
that.
congratulations, man. That is great, dude.
I
How
know.
long was this? How long are you speaking for?
I think it's 20 minutes. It's the
Whoa.
longest video he's ever made, he said. So, and it's,
Oh my gosh. So wait, you were talking for 20 minutes?
yeah, it's all about stress factors of financial stress factors and all that sort of stuff. It's real,
Oh, that is
yeah,
outstanding, dude. That's great.
inharmonic stress strain, the episode's called, but it doesn't get released until January, apparently. And it
So
goes for
quasi the
15 minutes, sorry.
quasi finance is a quant.
Quasi finance is a quant.
Yeah, they call them quantitative financial engineering. That's what he's looking at.
That's crazy. That's so cool because that plays very well into the future of organizations and the potential to actually follow the laws of the universe rather than the laws of things will always follow the law of the universe, right? No matter how much bureaucratic bullshit you put in play, you just got to identify those laws, right? But and
speaking
understand
about those laws, like he's one of the last people. I think like he did the second or third last interview with John McAfee ever.
I've got to watch that. I've got to watch that one time. I remember you saying that. Let's have a look. I'm getting my Soyuz set up, so I've got my mic now. I've got my little Chromebook computer keyboard all set up. I just need to get my sound studio together. But yeah, what were you guys talking about before I butt in? You're talking about Ali Space. How is everybody else? What's happening? You're burning the candle at both ends.
Dude,
Staying up
I've
late.
attached a crossbar to the candle, and I've got all four corners lit.
Crossbar to the candle.
Yeah, I'm looking to add 2 more axes to this. I'm just
Wow.
gonna keep adding.
Wow.
Just gonna keep adding candles. Yeah.
I just pictured like a candle from the 8th dimension, then, like an interdimensional.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Oop! Did I just rug out?
So, Casey, your NFTs have been selling.
I've sold 4 so far, which is what?
Different buyers?
Yeah.
And is there a theme among the ones sold?
Is there a what?
A theme that unifies the pieces that were sold?
They were all sold out of the Halloween collection. And I kind of had my final breakthrough is like, I'm going to be loading multiple collections. I'm going to capture all the art that I'm creating that I think is cool. And I'm just going to stock the collections up. I'm just going to throw it all on and let it be. But I just posted up my Power Blender collection. All the superhero stuff I've been doing. Got a cyborg and robots coming out. I've got to load up my abstract stuff. Oh, dude, I can't wait to load up all the equations that I've been putting into Dream. Yeah, what's up, E?
You added those to OpenSea, the superheroes?
Like literally 15 minutes ago.
I should have held out for the superheroes.
I'm sorry, dude.
I had to
I'm
find
sorry.
the least spidery looking.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
You know what? That's on me because I should. I got a little bit antsy. I was like, I just gotta pick one. Anyway, carry on and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, but I'll have probably 4 or 5 collections, and I'm just gonna keep adding to them. I am all done with the Halloween stuff, though. The dark stuff, I'm all set with that. I'm happy to move on to brighter stuff. But I also have been downloading a ton of Sketchfab stuff for free, and it kind of pisses me off because there's environments available now that are better than anything I can create. So just, well, that's a bunch of work for nothing. Just go download something cooler.
I'm just saying, I like the concept of the financial literacy stuff. I know how exciting this whole thing is, and I didn't see your stuff on there. the super people, and I didn't also was trying to be sneaky and not let you know I was buying your stuff. And because I did the same thing to Peter, because neither one of you have listed the stuff that I've seen that I wanted to buy, and I was like trying to be like a non, and I had to dox myself to both you a-holes because you didn't post the shit I liked. But either way, I like what I have of Peter's, and I don't care for the one I have of yours, to be perfectly honest. So I may go ahead and buy another.
Well, oh man. Well, yeah. So, you can go through a little financial literacy with me, and I'll refund you your cost, and then you can do whatever you want to do with that as well.
Well,
saying.
we'll see. We'll see. I may have to take the financial literacy course before I buy another NFT from you, because
I
I feel
mean,
that would be
there's worse
financially awkward advice.
there's worse ideas. Just saying.
Hold on, wait a minute. Can I buy an NFT, get financial advice, use that money to buy another NFT, and then get more financial advice, and then buy another NFT?
You can't get any financial advice, but you can get a financial literacy review.
Can you
But,
do buy one, give one? Like buy it and then you give the financial advice to somebody else, and when that person completes the course for me, I get the refund.
But then they would get the refund though. So
Interesting.
I'm in.
Okay.
Let's do it, Richie.
I'm just gonna have people pose for the courses, and I'm gonna collect all of your stuff.
I even have a spatial set up for private meetings. Just saying.
Oh, new
I
space.
love that.
Oh.
And it's not token gated. You don't need to buy the NFT to get the financial literacy review. But yeah.
Do you make to-do lists? Like how? Like it feels like you're just like shooting from the hip, but like it also seems incredibly well thought out. But like,
I've been
fast.
thinking about it. Yeah, I've been thinking about it and grinding on it for a year before actually doing anything. And now I'm
spatial and stuff, and the NFTs.
The whole kit and caboodle and then some. Because don't forget, I've also got my
the app. Yes.
Yeah, I've got my app and NFT link on that as well, and it's all basically tied in together.
This makes so much more sense. I mean, not makes more sense, but I'm here for it, Casey.
Whoop whoop. Thanks, appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah,
got a question for you, Casey.
What's up, bud?
So you finished with your superhero? Oh no, you finished with the Halloween one. I've been watching your on Casey Imagination how you integrate the universes of the heroes, like with the Green Lantern. That was so fucking cool. Like some of those images that come out were amazing. I thought when you're integrating the universes.
Dude, you know what's really crazy about that is that blend started with the Halloween collection using the demon spider prompt. Oh man.
Righto.
Yeah.
So I've got an image that I drew up, and it's just a sketch, a very simple sketch. And it comes from some EMDR therapy that I did. So straight after I did the EMDR therapy, I tried to sketch this image out. It looks nothing like, it's similar, but the image that I got when I was in the dream state was this very vivid creature that at first glance you would think it was sort of maybe a cobra or a snake, but when you get closer, it's actually the shape of a snake. However, instead of scales, it's covered with a scorpion-like exoskeleton that sort of moves within itself as the snake articulates. And like a cobra would have its lungs lower down below its jaw, this lungs, or that expansion, was sort of just on the back or above, just coming over the front of the head, and it had like a humanoid type face that was all covered in the armor as well. And the arms were like a newt, or a how it sort of fits into the side of the being, but they can come out, and like they had sort of like a three claw hand.
Almost like a salamander.
Yeah, but the arms are longer. Like I've got a sketch image. And I tried to sort of use that sketch and then use the AI to create a better image of it, but I couldn't get the outcome that I wanted. So I'm wondering if I can throw it your way and you can play with it
Send
if you're
send it
keen.
over. Totally, send it over. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, maybe I can turn it into Ethernet cables.
Yeah, righto. And then I'll probably just use it as a profile picture or something for one of my other accounts and go that way. Hi, Kaon. Hi, Zach. How are we? I've been wanting to ask Zach for ages how he's going with his fundraiser event and the other thing that we were talking about. But every time it seems to be we just don't get to hear about it. But hi, everyone in the space. Lots of stuff happening.
It feels like everywhere I look, people are building something.
That's the
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
that's the Twitter algorithm.
All the builders get pushed together.
Yeah. So when I first jumped on to Twitter, right, I started finding like VC Twitter and then founder Twitter, and that kind of like all of a sudden it was like an explosion. Like, oh my God, it was like everyone was a founder, and there was a founder space probably twice a night. And now all of a sudden it's like there's no founder spaces. So I'm wondering if it's because I stopped going in founder spaces as much as I used to because I've been going into these syndicate chats. And if I start seeking out founder spaces, am I going to start finding more like just getting pushed my way? Or is it really because there's just less founder spaces because the economy is kind of, everyone's grinding so hard because I don't know.
It feels like it's social media manipulation is what it feels that way.
Yeah, it could be like I keep going back to this. Like Einstein said, things tend to live the longest. Things tend to travel towards where they live the longest, and it's gravity that pulls them there. So wherever your gravity takes you, man, you got to go with the flow. I feel. Richie, got your hand up.
Yeah, Zach, do you remember who was running the spaces that you were talking to, the person that was hosting them?
Yeah, like so TechCrunch had them with Sabra, and then Zeka was hosting spaces,
Yes.
and then Amy was hosting, not our Amy, but the other Amy was hosting spaces on Founders, and then there was the guy Aaron, and then the other Zach was hosting the Flounder Tank, and then Jen was hosting a couple every week.
I'm remembering now what you're talking about. Especially with Saba.
And then Brandon Brooks was hosting spaces, and then
Brandon went through something though, didn't he? Like he kind of had like a moment.
Him and it was just like, oh, and then Dell was hosting spaces all
Dell
the time
like
talking about
VCs,
VC.
like Dell the computers.
What?
Sorry, there's some feedback on your end. That sounds like an adorable poor baby. Like it's so cute.
It's a long road trip, and her iPad just died, so we're gonna have to figure that one out.
Let Hurls sing her to sleep.
A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have tea in my underground house. That's frightfully kind of you, Fox, but no, I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo.
Oh, keep going. She's coming down. Keep going.
A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why didn't you know? He has terrible teeth and terrible claws and terrible tusks in his terrible jaws. And that's all I can remember. I have to make the rest of it up.
That was incredible. That was awesome. I want that recording. Like, just
I'll send it to you.
That clip is gold. Like,
Uh,
your voice is money. That is money right there.
I think I've got a clip of it still on SoundCloud. I'll send it to you. But how old's your little one, Zach? How old's your little one?
20 months.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and we're driving from New York to El Paso, so 30-hour trip. We stopped in Indianapolis. Wow. We stopped in Indianapolis the first night for to see my one of my best friends and go to the Children's Museum there, which is the largest children's museum in the world. And now we're driving to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, which you can tell she's super happy about. 'Cause that'll be my new home for about a year after I get finished through warrant officer school. So that's where I'll go to advanced training class. So it'll be interesting. So my wife wants to drive through and see what Fort Sill, Oklahoma looks like, which is a shithole. So that'll be interesting. But
yeah.
And then on the fundraising front, I have not closed any of the fundraising because I found out that the unit who established the nonprofit never actually established any of the nonprofit. And so I went to go file the tax exempt forms, and it turns out that they don't even have like a proper business filing or any. They have an EIN. So they have an EIN, but the EIN wasn't filed by a registered agent. They just kind of like put some paperwork together themselves and like sent it in. And so we're not like a real established business.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Zach, I would love to help you out with that. Actually, I can help.
Yes.
And
Perfect.
also, registered agents aren't the people that have. Anyway, I can help.
Perfect. Because
in general, like I can't help you unfuck that up in general, but I can help lead you in the right way.
It was going to take 8 months and $6,000 to do it.
I'm not saying it's not going to take that, but I can at the very least get you started on the right path with somebody who can like
Because I'm pretty sure
one thing has to do with the exemption, but I don't there's a lot going on. What's the child's name? Wait, don't tell me your kid's name. Are you just doxed your kid, Zach?
Harold, you just have to keep on saying the same intro over and over.
I can sing a lullaby. I don't know. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns go. Nope, that's all I got. You are my baby, and I love you so. That's the other thing.
A bit of a voice there, Richie. Nice voice, Richie.
Fine. Peace. No. To sing love.
Wow.
All right, the iPad's back. We got Bluey on, and I think we're good.
Hey, Bluey. I love Bluey.
So you're saying it wasn't my voice. I gotcha.
All right. I'm figuring out how to send this to you on Twitter.
So yeah, I haven't done very much fundraising because the last thing I want is to take a bunch of money and then all of a sudden them to be like, okay, now pay taxes.
Say that you are intending to apply for but cannot guarantee that X, Y, and Z. But don't wait until you've got an actual application in for the exemption, because it will be able to retroactively apply if at the time that you have an actual tax ID number, the exemption is approved.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I don't want to pull and get funds before January, um, and then file everything next year, and then it not retroactively go till 2022. I don't know how that works. If it can bleed over to a previous tax year.
Yeah, to be fair, I would say nothing I say is tax advice, but I do know some good tax LLMs, that's attorneys that have a
Perfect.
master of law in tax, and they can help
Please
and assist.
send
So
one of them my way, and preferably one that wants to help a veterans organization, preferably one that wants to do it for very little money, because
less money than what, $6,000. I mean, like
yeah,
I will see what I can do. I'm trying
filing the
to.
paperwork, like doing the EZ form and all that kind of stuff, like I can do that. Like
Okay, well, if you
that's
prep
not
the
hard.
forms, I can probably
Yeah,
have an attorney that can look over it and
yeah,
then go from there if that makes sense.
yeah. I think my biggest
Is
issue is
In
like,
fact, I do. I know somebody. It's Chris. I got it. I got you. I
okay,
got you.
because there's
He's
like
my supervising
got a
attorney
question.
for the
these
other job.
dudes. Yeah, what's up, Pearls?
So, Richie, is 6 to 8 months like a decent lead time? Is that standard over there for non-for-profits
I
to
wouldn't.
file this sort of
No,
paperwork, or
no,
that
no.
doesn't? That sounds like a long time.
Yeah, so I would say that I can't answer that question because I don't know the actual facts and I don't know what that attorney was basing his estimate on. What I can say is that that would suck if it happened. So I think so. The nonprofit. Blah, I don't know right now. I'm tired, so I don't want to say it wrong. But I could tell you that tomorrow if you remind me. You know how I get when I'm tired, Earls.
No, you're right. That's okay. I was just wondering if you knew off the hand. That's cool. It just doesn't sound right
Well,
that
this
long to
seems
get
to
one.
be correcting something or like initiating an action that they thought had already happened. So that may, if there's an EIN already, it may be like getting that stuff corrected that is going to take the time. In general,
Mm.
though, when you submit the exemption paperwork to the IRS, like you get in general, and this is my best recollection, the benefit of the date when they received it for donations made in between that time once it's approved. Although if it's not approved, then those
Yeah,
those aren't.
I think
Yeah,
the bigger issue is that it's been this EIN's been in use to run a
yeah,
bank
that
account for like a
exactly.
year and a half, and they haven't even filed any of this with the Texas State AG.
Oh, that is not what I was thinking was going to be the problem. I thought this was an IRS issue.
No, like they literally have done. They've been operating under the fact that they're like, oh, we're just a chapter of a larger national organization, and I was like, no, like you still need to be your own business entity. Like every chapter is its own business. Like you can't just be like, oh, we're operating under the national chapter, so we don't have to do anything. Like that's not how things work.
Is there chapter guidance on that though? Like, I mean,
Oh no, guess what? I wrote the bylaws yesterday because they didn't have any bylaws.
okay, let's talk about this in an unrecorded space, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. So
Yeah.
I literally told them, all of them, I was like, hey, look, like I am not going to take over this organization, and I'm probably not going to do anything further until I get back and sit down and let all of you know how utterly fucked this is, and we hire someone to actually unfuck it. That's why I've been tweeting at Mr. Beast to try to get on his radar, because if Mr. Beast just wants to pay for it, number one, I think 1,500 soldiers, families, and veterans all getting a meal is one, really good PR. Number two, if he comes with his whole little crew and does giveaways and a bunch of other cool shit, he'll have so much content from one event. Just 1,500 people there, all in cool dress uniform. I think would be a incredible opportunity for him to make great videos.
Who
So
is Mr. Beast?
he's a YouTuber who He pretty much, he's the first YouTube billionaire. So he right now is trying to raise $150 million for his YouTube channel, which would put it at a valuation of 1.5 billion.
Oh yeah. YouTube got really, really popular while I was in law school. So I kind of like missed everything that happened when I was in law school. So that makes sense. So I'm like,
yeah. So he is just he just does these videos where, like, I don't know, the other day he did a video where he was like, I just bought this island, and then he took like 50 random strangers and put them on the island, and they did a series of challenges, and whoever finished all the challenges got the deed to the island.
oh, that's called Survivor. That was Jeff. Never mind. Bad joke.
No, that yeah.
But Survivor doesn't get to win the island; they just win $1 million. This guy bought a $3 million island, and then was like, "Yeah, whoever stays on the island wins." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So
That's
anyway,
crazy.
I've been trying to tweet at him because, like, someone who's a YouTuber who has the money could make incredible content with 1,500 all dressed up soldiers and their families, and get to say he fed all of them, and it's only like 60 grand, 70 grand. So.
And you can order them to do that too, can you? Or do you think they'll have to volunteer for it?
No. So here's the thing: is like, let's say they came and they set up some like booths, and they wanted to do like let's say Mr. Beast showed up and he wanted to bring a car, and there were a bunch of, like, he was like, all right, pick 10 soldiers, and they'll put their hand on the car, and last one to take their hand off wins the car. Like, we could do all that shit at the ball. Like, but the difference is that his content would be a bunch of soldiers all dressed up in their dress uniforms doing it.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing it as a unit; we're doing it as as the Field Artillery Association doing a ball. And so,
Right.
like, a lot of the like unit regulations that says like you can't do this, you can't do that, don't apply. Which is why we're doing it through the nonprofit, is because our colonel wants to go like balls to the wall, have a barn burner. So I guess that had turned
I
off
remember you
again.
saying that. Sounds awesome. I put up the SoundCloud clip on the Syndicate chat, Zach, so you can grab it from there if you want. For that clip you were asking for.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna go play it and see what she thinks of it. Oh, never mind. She's watching YouTube.
Yeah, it's just the amateur version, just a little play around. It's nothing too serious. Just a jam with the voice.
Mike, have you made any progress on our video call loved one idea? Of course, Mike probably walked away.
No, I'm here.
Yeah.
Any progress on our idea? I called my father and pitched him, and he was like, "This is a really cool idea."
Which one?
So for Elizabeth Hurls, so I had an idea where every day or every week or every month, the app, right, the AI calls you, video chat or phone call, and just records you and asks you questions. So 2 questions, right? Like, let's say I went in and I signed up for I had for the child one, right? So it asked me, what is the fondest memory with your daughter this week?
Wow.
And I just kind of speak, into it, right? And record it.
Oh my God.
After a year, I can just hit a button and it prints the book of the year of Zach and Nora 2022. Or it creates a consolidated video. So when my daughter's 40 and I'm gone, or she's 50 and I'm gone, she can go, I want to know what my dad did when I was
Yes.
little, and we were on the car trip to Oklahoma, and I was crying. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Nora was crying, and we put on Spaces, and this guy Hurls on Twitter Spaces just started talking, and then I could like play it on the phone call, and now she can like listen to it.
that's beautiful. That's
Well,
so crazy because
I know
guys,
we can
yeah.
do it
So
now. Like I got a WAV file to play on the Twilio, so I know we can do that, right? And there's voice activated Twilio as well. So yeah, we can get a prototype spun up.
And all we need to do is have a certain number of questions in a database that the AI can ask. And then if you like, let's say it asks you a question and you're like, that question sucks, like I don't want to answer that. You could just go like, hey, next question. Okay, thanks. Here's your next question. And it just like skips that one. And you get like 2 skips every week or whatever.
Like
So
a question could
5,
be like,
whatever.
when did you meet Dad? How'd you meet Dad?
Yeah, exactly.
wow,
It's like
wow.
all you have to
Oh,
so you could record, and so you could do it in 3 mediums. If you do video recording, right, if it FaceTimes you could do video recording, but the video can be also turned into just voice, or the voice can be turned into actual hardcover books. So at the end you could have the encyclopedia of Zach and Nora, you could have the encyclopedia, you could have the best of Zach and Leanne or whatever.
do you know what else you could do with that, Zach? Like as the technology develops, you could actually go back into a spatial room and talk to a version of yourself at that age and
Yep.
watch them
Jesus
talk about
Christ. It's just like Harry Potter,
Yep.
y'all.
it.
Yeah, that's what I
It's a
said.
whole
Is like,
new. It's crazy.
as
So
we go
good.
forward, the first company that can consolidate these mannerisms in this right conversations, right self-reported conversations, So all I need to do is I vote
He's gone into the Matrix. Zach,
Well,
Zach, you're in the Matrix. Sorry, you went into the Matrix. Unless you didn't. Did everyone else hear that?
yeah, he started reverbing.
Can you hear
Y-
me now?
Yeah, yep. Keep going.
But yeah, I just think it's too easy to just like set it and forget it. The AI records it all. The AI asks all the questions. All we're paying for at that point is storage. And then say you want the book, you just go in and order the book with a little bit of an upcharge, and it gets delivered to your house. So all we got to do is just make sure that whatever the storage costs are, we charge more monthly than what someone's storage fees are going to be. So if it's once you hit a certain number of hours of recorded time, right? Like we'd have to increase the price. So that's the only thing, scaling the pricing model based on storage costs, because storing like all the video, all the audio, all of the text.
There's so many different ways that product could evolve too into different markets. And I'm thinking of, like, when you set up these
Well, yeah,
ideas, there's always that. How do we evolve it?
If it just asks, like every week it asks you a question about yourself, like what are your favorite colors, like where did you go to school, what is your earliest memory, all this stuff that's just about you, right? And then when your great grandkids are old and they're like, I wonder what great grandpa was like, oh, let's watch all the videos. or let's read the encyclopedia of hurls, right? Like, there's just I think consolidating people's stories in their past, right? Like I've said it before, is like, hey, our kids are gonna go hit Facebooks and our Instagrams and our Google Clouds and go, oh, this is who this person was. But I feel like you're gonna want to curate it, like ask the questions and have like this is the important things of who I am made, and so this is a way to do that.
That's crazy. Oh, well, I got you. Did your cleaner friend end up closing that building unit and landing the
She
contract?
She did. So she has like
Wow.
like a 10 apartment unit. So and then her car took a shit. So like she had to take pretty much all of that money and get a car so that she could get to the jobs. But yeah, so she closed that, and now I'm working on the website for Alpha Dumpster, and he has like 6 jobs for the cleaning for Nora's cleaning service. So now I've got the 2 of them connected up, and then I'm gonna do his website up, and then start making blog posts for his website using Phrase, and then that'll give me the ability to like help him do his SEO, and then I'll just probably charge him a little bit less than what the other company was charging him per month to run his website, and then probably come to the Syndicate and get a commercial made.
Wow. That's awesome. You're like a fucking freight train. There's no stopping you. And no one can get you off your tracks.
My wife goes, it's annoying because it's like every day I'm just like thinking of something new. She goes, she's like, I'm stuck in a car with you, and all I'm doing is getting on a call with Mike and going, Mike, listen to my new idea.
Well, I had that with Pearl for like an hour and a half today.
Yeah. We'll see if we can get something happening with that. So I've already made a phone call with that Mike, and
we have to have Zach on the team.
Sorry?
We have to have Zach on the team. That's my first recommendation.
Yeah, I already said we've already talked about that as well. But yeah, that's definitely something that can definitely happen.
Team for what?
Mike, have you got time to explain it?
Well, you know I'm going to mess it up.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want you to explain it.
Pearl knows some guy that's making 30 grand a month. I would like to have more control over his decision making and make 30 grand a month at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a beautiful problem to have.
Yeah. So he wants me in as partner. He's built with me. I've been sort of mentoring him for just under a decade now. And so he's everything that I seem to, share with him and share my experiences and say what I do in the situation. He's able to manifest that, and he's gone from a 30 to 35 an hour job being paid to running through and doing a number of things, and now he's up to I helped him negotiate a $70 an hour job, and through his own lack of self-confidence he dropped that down to $60 an hour. And he's managed to create, with the investment of his boss, he's managed to build and create a whole business within an organization, and his revenue is about $80,000 a month, with a net profit of just under $30,000, with 3 to 4 staff. And he wants a bigger piece of the pie, and he's like telling me he wants me to be partner. And I'm thinking of doing something with that, and going in with no capital or anything, and seeing what we can make of it, seeing how desperate he is for it.
Sweat equity.
Yeah.
What is the business, if you don't mind? Like
Industrial glazing. So the geographically where he's located is well positioned to service most of the mining and other industries around. And with the way we did it is we set it up so that no matter where he worked, the customer would always call his personal number. So he's already building his own client base, and now he's at a point where he's ready to go off on his own, and he wants me in as partner. But it's not all pros. He has a wife who's like one of these personalities that if you introduce them into an organization, they become quite toxic, and we're both in agreement of that and aware of it. But yeah, so it's not all bells and whistles, but there's definitely an opportunity. Everything that I coach him and mentor him on, he's able to produce and bring it into fruition. So it's a good little formula there. And even though his wife and I aren't on talking terms anymore, he still wants to do business, and she wants me to be a part of it as well. But I don't want her anywhere near it. Unfortunately, that's one of the gripes, the cons of the situation. But that could be managed out with contracts and paperwork and stuff like that to ensure that it doesn't become toxic.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound that unfortunate. That just sounds like part of business is just knowing.
Exactly.
So
that's the emotional side of it for me.
At least you know it off of the rip. Like that's a real hard thing to find out a couple, months in that someone's partner in life, not just in business, can't be around.
The reason we found that out was because we looked at the viability of doing a classic car business together. We stripped down a 1970 Mustang. We bought it for $7,500. Spent 2 years on it in our spare time, and sold it for 120 grand 2 years later. So she got involved with that and made all these false accusations, and they nearly got divorced over it, which was a bit of a tricky situation for them. So, but they come out of it in the other end. So we know what she's like, and she's demonstrated what she can, how she can get in the way. So she is aware. So she's been instructed now to stand in the background. But she's an awesome mum, an amazing mum of 6 kids and all that sort of stuff. She's just batshit crazy, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, having 6 kids, I mean...
Hello.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'd be batshit crazy.
Exactly. Like there was sometimes there's sometimes where I'd go over there and work on the Mustang, and I'd come over and like the poor thing, the eyes are sort of dropping out of her head, and I'm like, just go and have a lie down and I'll watch the kids for a bit. You could see that she's just, very, very hardworking. Just, and protective of her family, I guess, too. But anyway, jumps to conclusions. So I'll give you another situation. I'll give you another example. This is a person who had a whole SWAT team of people over at the house because someone come in and kidnapped their child. And my friend, he was out of town. He's come back from out of town within a couple of hours, and this is all happening, and just, a terrible situation. And the missing child was tucked away asleep under a bed or something like that. And just, so it was just a crazy situation. No, under the table it was, under the kitchen dining table. The kid was there all along.
Kids blend in. At least she noticed he was missing. With 6 of them, I think you would have been like, we've got a duplicate. Like...
Yeah.
I would have been like, we still got 5 left. Let's just do 5.
That's it, right?
2 of them can double up the chores.
Oh God,
I had 6 for a reason, so that one or 2 of them I'll leave at Disney World, just in case.
Oh, if you have a dud, like if one of them's like, we got it.
So this guy, he's trade quality, coming from my trade background, his trade quality is top notch. His clients don't care what business he works for, just as long as they can call him. And so he's facing some growth and teething problems and duplicating his work amongst his staff at the moment. And I basically told him yesterday, I'm not giving you anything anymore because it's just going to your manager and it's benefiting his business, and he's not allowing you to grow and grow it in the way you want to do. So I've stopped everything at the moment, and I said, let me go away, talk with a few circles of people. I'll talk with my accountant and we'll see what we can come up with. So yeah, I'm thinking of creating some sort of entity which allows people from around the world to be part of that entity. And then that entity would basically buy in as equity for potential entities and other entities, and help them grow by using a very organic type of system like what the Syndicate does. So just sort of mulling around in my head with that at the moment, how that all works and how we make something like that come into fruition. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they have ways of doing that with real estate, I know, and other U.S. business ventures. Like a bunch of people can kind of do that here, but I don't know about just. I guess we should. I wish there was a lawyer in the room or something.
Yeah.
To be
Yep.
clear, my hand is not raised because I'm a lawyer, and I won't speak to this at all because you guys need real, actual dispassionate attorneys to talk to this point. So I will actually ignore and not even opine at all. Now, that said, you mentioned something that I've heard Zach say before, which is that there's the person who knows how to do things and really good at it and having trouble taking that model and replicating it for the next person to do. If that makes sense. So Zach, I'm thinking of winning the war. Sorry. And I think like replica, not replica, but like being able to take that type of consultingness, I would be cool, because I also struggle with that in general, but I'm sure there's probably a service for that too already. But in general, though, I just am hearing a theme on the kid that you were talking about, Hurls, and then also Zach, some things he said before. And then I've been thinking in particular of one of my mentors from who passed away a couple of years ago. She had an amazing chiropractic clinic model, and she was, poised to really like disrupt the system. I think she had one of the top 3 clinics in the nation before she passed away. But yeah, anyway, that's all I got. Oh, yeah. If she replicating her model, she had a terminal situation, so she knew she wasn't going to make it that long, but she did an incredible job with what she was doing in general. But I think it could have gone lots of places.
Yeah, well, it's just this. It's been mulling around in my mind for a long time now, and it's just sort of finding the pieces of where I could sort of bring it into fruition somehow. And it's sort of trying to encapsulate everything that I've been learning on spaces and what's happening with industries around the world and all this automation that's happening, and working within that SaaS, cloud-based SaaS solutions where all these APIs integrate and things like that. So we can all create this beautiful, wonderful thing. And now with Web3, what we see is something that can be brought into fruition within a day. There's just an incredible opportunity for a lot of businesses, and from my experience, small to medium-sized businesses can move a hell of a lot faster than the big corporations because of all the bureaucratic bullshit. So it's trying to sort of stay away and keep the way I visualize it is that structure is sort of like an organic type of ecosystem that can, so you and I were talking about how the Syndicate's almost like a think tank that has a resource pool within and that swirls around, and you can sort of collectively gather your entities and produce an outcome, and then they break apart. So it's trying to keep something like that together. And I want to actually talk to Quasi Finance about it too, because I think that he would be able to contribute and sort of bring that sort of quantum element into it, following the laws of the universe. So these sorts of things swirl around in my mind, and trying to verbalize them is the most challenging part, and trying to explain them so I can allow others who are capable to gravitate towards it so we can gain some momentum and some mass. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to talk to my accountant. I've talked to a mentor of mine. They think it's a great idea, but they come from a traditional background and, they can only see it from that sort of traditional sense of an organization, the way it would run. So yeah, I'm just it's still up in my head mulling around.
Sorry, hanging some clothes up to dry. And I didn't hear the last like 30 seconds of what you said, but I know you were talking. And I apologize for zoning out.
That's cool.
Could you repeat?
I'm really hoping that this is being recorded. I think it is, and there's some way we can just capture what I just said, because that's probably the best description I've been able to give for what I've been trying to do so
I think
far.
you were talking about how great I am and how much you've learned from me, and how much
And with
you really
receipts.
appreciate.
With receipts.
How do we do that, Michael? How do we grab that and save that for later?
I would go ahead and do one of those little scissor things, and then that way you've at least time stamped it.
Sometimes it does that.
But you want 20 minutes before. And it's just for you to get the time stamp from where you want to like make sure to queue up in the.
Because I don't.
When you come back to it,
it doesn't give me the snip thing anymore. I don't get that. I don't know why. Maybe I have to update my Twitter.
It stopped working for me.
Yeah.
But maybe
I snipped
it
something.
works now.
That's weird to say like that.
Maybe it's been removed and put somewhere else. Adjust settings, chef.
No. Whenever I hear snip, I think of vasectomy, because that's what they call it, the snip. The clipping is working, I guess. Nice. Nice.
It seems to kick me out, but I change my profile, come into a space.
Oh, sometimes it goes. For me, sometimes if my phone goes landscape, it kicks me out of my own space.
I remember someone saying that. But it might be sort of just flipping without me knowing it. Hang on.
Mm-hmm. So I take the auto rotate off if I'm in spaces.
All right, let's give that a go. Done.
Another spaces miracle.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go have some chicken.
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do?
I'm working on.
What time is it over there? It's almost midnight over there.
Yeah, Richie, you go first.
10:24 p.m. Hurls is in the future, so.
No. I'm working on the viability. I'm just going to start building evidence-based stuff from that profit and loss statement that he gave me. I'm gonna ask for more too, by the way, as many as he can give me, and just work on viability for that. And then I'm going to start maybe I was thinking about going into a Prezi, using a Prezi sort of visual presentation of the options we could do with it, and just play around with that, because I know that's a shared platform where it's sort of visual and you can sort of really catch on to things quickly, and just try and use organic resources to build the concepts and ideas around this. I'm not sure.
Well, I would suggest
like
having the guy
use the military decision-making process.
Don't think about any of that. Just have him meet with Zach, and after he talks to Zach, he'll do all that stuff
for us.
Well, no, I think it's good. We could do it as a group function, because I'm sure that Hurls has Hurls has a expertise that could be used during the IPV section. So I'll send you, Hurls. I'll send you a link to like step 1, and if you have the kit fill it out, and then you fill out like 1 for yourself.
Yep.
And then we can like meet up and talk about next steps. So we can go from there.
Okay, cool. I'll have a look at it.
Hey, Hurls.
Hey, Richie.
Are you ever going to tell me what my original mission was that I accepted? And then after that, can you tell me what the follow-up mission was that I also accepted but have also forgotten now?
Oh, the follow-up mission. I don't know. I remember the original one, but
Oh, okay. Let's stick with that one.
the follow-up one. Yeah, nothing's coming to mind with that. Oh, we were going to talk about the follow-up one. We haven't discussed that yet.
Oh, I remember that one. That was the I know what it was.
The Twitter
and I kept
Twitter entity.
We kept missing each other.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You made me think that I was suffering from amnesia then. Yes.
How do you think I feel right now?
So
We're in essence, we're all just gaslighting each other. So
Yeah.
Twitter Spaces is the biggest gaslighting problem in the world. It makes you think that you've done something wrong all the time.
Richie, it's just too much. The fun would stop if I told you. And like this session, I think you've been like on point. Like you've maintained your goals, and your subconscious is helping you out with whatever it was. If you guys don't know, Richie and I were having a talk, and I didn't realize, but Richie was maybe half asleep when we were talking, and I gave her a mission, and she accepted it, and now she can't remember what it is. So yeah, she
I
keeps
remember accepting it though, and I have some pretty poor sleep patterns in general.
Zach's got his hand up.
But I see that. I'm just gonna say this one little thing is that my sleep is shit, and I know that, and I'm working on it. Zach, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh.
I was going to say I can. It probably, sleep is what you need. I think is working on that. So keep working on that. I also want to say, I no longer have any imposter syndrome about being a founder in a VC world because I now have a Patagonia jacket.
Jesus.
So now. So I have zero imposter syndrome. All I needed to do was buy a Patagonia jacket.
Is it a
When do you
vest or a
start the
full
stack?
jacket?
No, I got a full jacket. It's the full like sweater jacket, like the one that the vest that they all wear. Like I got the full jacket one. So I think it's even better.
I mean, yeah, that's founder plus.
Are you going to be starting the stack?
I also did not get the black or the gray that everyone else has. I got blue, like a Royal Navy blue. So I think it's pretty neat. So
I mean, you pivoted.
yeah,
I think that's
I was
perfect.
gonna put a picture of it on Twitter and be like, I no longer have any imposter syndrome about being a founder. Thank you, Patagonia. And then, but I didn't know. I thought that was kind of funny. I also almost got into a fight with an investor over Twitter. Mike, I sent it to you. But there's one investor who always talks about how men think about getting funded or shouldn't even talk to investors if you're not a full-time founder because you need to go all in before you can ever think about taking somebody else's money. And then I looked at his profile and it said CEO of this company plus executive producer of this TV show plus founder of this other company plus co-founder of this other company. And I went, so do you only have to go all in when you're on your first company? Or does it not count if you, like, once you've had one success, then you don't ever have to go all in on one of them ever again? And I don't think, so I wrote the whole tweet and then I
Yeah, Elon Musk is the best use case against that.
I mean, yeah, but I think, like, Elon's first company, he was kind of all in on, and then now once he had all the money, he could do whatever the fuck he wanted. But
you're right. I forgot. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, but I mean, like this guy, he doesn't have fuck you money. He doesn't have Elon fuck you money. So I don't know. Like, I get the idea,
Look.
but I hate this like you have to go all in culture that a lot of people talk about.
I think it would be interesting to see just what kind of a juggernaut this dumpster cleaning business could be. It's a dangerous combination.
But I think it's only viable in El Paso, which I mean is fine. I just think it's only viable in El Paso because really the only competitive advantage, the only reason I even considered like pivoting and put into this is because the 150 to 500 people who come across the border every day that are U.S. citizens but choose to live in Juarez
Right.
because of how cheap it is. So like
Fascinating.
that's and so like that's the only reason I picked this is because of that one advantage. Same with like, so I've like I think that the same thing with this like call recorded tell your story idea. I think the advantage is the right now is talking to someone is how people really want to tell their story, not through responding to an email. And so how do you make that happen? I think a phone call is the way to do it. Like my wife has
Yes.
apps and she just like ignores the apps when it says like, hey, don't forget to do this. Like she just ignores it. And then guess what we do? We unsubscribe because we don't use it. And so the way you get people to keep subscribing to it is by bugging them with phone calls, not just some sort of like, oh, hold on, not with some text message or email like, hey, it's Sunday. When do you want to schedule your call? Pick a time. They pick a time, and then all of a sudden you call them at that time. They don't pick up. You call them every 5-10 minutes. It's like a 5-minute conversation on the phone, but that 5 minute
I still have
conversation.
to. I still have to get the speech to text working, where like it listens to what you say and then it picks the number. But I mean, we basically have 80. We have the ability to upload a WAV file to the internet, and when you call, the WAV file is played. You know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's that what's it called it's got to have that endorphin activating type feeling, right? That's the whole thing behind what apps do work. It's the ones that trigger that sort of good reward type feeling. So maybe it's the type of voice that you use. So they're like, oh yeah, that hearing that voice or the interaction pleases them every time they use it. They get some sort of reward out of it. Every time that phone call made, it's like, oh, a little gift is arriving, and it's whole and solely for me, and it warms my heart, warm, fuzzy type, whatever you want to call it, feeling.
Well, think about this, Hurls, is like if this becomes part of the zeitgeist, right, where everyone's doing this, everyone's getting their weekly phone call,
There.
in a generation, I could be calling Nora and asking her the questions because I did, a call my entire life. So then it just goes into like, I could be the voice calling her.
Yes. Yeah, I'm hearing you there. That's freakish type of stuff, far and from beyond.
And then
From when you,
and then you have my interpretation of how it was when Nora was little, and then you have how I was, so that her kids can see the two discrepancies of like what I thought what we were doing, like this trip to Oklahoma. I don't remember that trip to like her telling of it will be like, I don't remember that at all. I was one. Like, what do you think? What? Like, I do remember
It's
when he didn't show up to my soccer game because he was doing whatever, right? Like, it'll change.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard of this concept, but it's crazy saying that because ever since the value of voice, I was thinking, and I didn't do it until these holidays, is I get the phone and I get the little video pro app that Potenza shows us, and at the end of the day, we do a little clip together, and Loie introduces herself, and then we have a little talk about what we did during the day, and sometimes we'll send stories and tell stories and stuff like that, and it just where it goes organically. I'll send you a little clip. It's just the most adorable little thing to do with your kid and listen back, and I'm excited for you because you got a little near 2-year old coming up, and they start to get exciting, and especially when they interact, and it's just a beautiful thing. So yeah, I love the idea. I think it's great.
Yeah, and I think that there's just so many ways to market it, right? Like, I think older generations, like an older person, you could do a call every day, one call every day. One, older people are lonely, so the call actually gives them a chance to like story. And two, they're recording their story, so their grandkids are going to want to buy it. Their kids are going to want to buy it. Like, that's the whole part of it is like, and an older generation, a lot of them like don't want to sit and respond to emails and craft an email, or a lot of them don't want to like have to. They don't know how. Some of them right now don't know how. So like, a phone call is really easy. Pick up the phone call and talk. Listen to the other end. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways to market it. I also think that it wouldn't be hard to build it, and I don't think it would take like, I don't think it would be a huge team and a whole lot of resources, and I don't think it would need like, the only thing we would ever need funding for is storage, because you could literally set up a printful to print the books, um, like else. Like, literally all you're doing is setting up the tech behind it, and it's just saying
Yeah.
go, and
Yep.
you're just sitting there taking money.
Yeah, you've heard me talk about the UK guy that interviewed his grandma over a series of months and recorded it and created like a 3D image of her.
Yep.
Yeah. So it plays into that sort of industry as well, developing and building that sort of database. I mean, Gmail
Yeah,
gives you 15 gigabytes storage for free every email account you have. 15 gigabytes is huge, especially when it's just audio.
Yeah, I mean, like, it pay $10 a month or $10 a week for a full video recording. Pay $5 a week or month for just audio, and then pay $1.99 a month for text. And then all it is it doesn't it records the voice, but immediately transcribes it and then deletes the audio and recording. So like, now you have different levels based on what you want, right? You can, from the video, if you choose the video, you get all three automatically because it's all there. Now you go just the voice, now you only got the two. You go to the text, that's all you got, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm looking at things that aren't. I want to be a part of things that like I think are easily built, that don't involve me there working on them, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
think we're all there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about like a passive income. Like, but like, I don't want to build this. I'll go
Yeah.
and do meetings on fundraising and do all that kind of stuff. But like, I want somebody else to build it, and take the lion's share and run with it. Like, but I just think like the interface is important because it really needs to be something where when I log in, it's like, here's all the files of your loved one. Okay, I want to sort it by mentions of Nora. And then, okay, here's all the ones where you mentioned Nora. Cool. Turn all of this into a book, right? Or turn all of it into, since I have all the video recordings, I'd like a best of. Okay, that's a 5-hour video. Turn it into 5 1-hour videos. Yeah. How do you want it sorted? Sort it by year. Okay, so it's 2020 to 2025. Cool. So each of them 1 year, an hour long each. Perfect. Okay, how do you want it? DVD? Do you want it on YouTube? Do you just want it on? I'll just take it on a digital file. Cool. Here you go. Like, that's all it has to be.
You know, we detected you're feeling down today. Here's an inspiring story from your grandma about how she faced a tough time.
Holy shit! Wow.
Yep. Hey, what was that song?
Fuck.
What was that song my grandmother always sang to me? Hold on. Hey, Grandma, what song was it you sang to me? Hold on, we're gonna search. Song she sang to me. Okay, Turaluralura. There we go. Okay.
Oh
I thought it was
my
going to be
god.
She
DC.
just
Wow. That's amazing.
And then if you run out of stuff, you can just have GPT-3 make up some stuff based on the training data.
Another universe has just been opened in my mind, and I get to go and explore it in my own time. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to go to bed, but I think we have something here. And now that we know how to use Twilio, calling people is not as complicated as before.
Yeah,
yeah.
great.
I started. So I texted a friend who is works in like writing to just kind of consolidate all of the top like questions that you would ask as a ghostwriter trying to like find someone's like get someone's life story. So they said they have probably thousands of questions. So now all we need to do is get a database, and then all it is just separating the algorithm. What package are you getting? Are you getting the child package? Are you getting the old adult package? Right? Like the questions
Yeah.
just change based on what you're doing it for.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. Well, I'm going to send you that little video clip, the video diary, just as a little thing that we've been doing. I'll show you that. And I've got to send Casey an image, and I'll wait to get that form. I think you said there's a form that we can fill out for the viability.
Yeah, I'll send it to you when I stop.
Yeah, cool.
It's just the
No
quad
worries.
chart. Yeah, it's just the running estimate quad chart, and I'll show you how to fill it out.
Great. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
All right,
Richie.
team. Hands
All right,
in the
guys.
middle. Ready?
Disassemble.
1, 2, 3, break.
Break.
Swirl.